Hello and welcome to Millennium News Hour. I am Tanziba Naurin. In today's bulletin, we will present trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines of the day. Seventh Memphis officer is relieved of duty after Tyre Nichols' death, police say. Tyre Nichols' parents to attend Biden's State of Union speech. President Biden to end COVID-19 emergencies on May 11. Biden highlights grant for Hudson Tunnel takes aim at GOP. Santos steps down from House panels amid ethics issues. Blinken Mideast visit highlights US limitations in region. US to increase weapons deployment to counter North Korea. Winter weather cancels flights leads to death in Texas. Justice Department seeks Tesla automated driving documents. Priscilla Presley disputes trust of late Lisa Mary Presley. Cindy Williams, best known for her role as Shirley in Laverne and Shirley, dies at 75. Michael Jackson's nephew to star in King of Pop biopic. Ukraine pushes for Western fighter jets after tank deals. Pakistan bombing raises fears over security breach, 100 dead. NATO chief urges closure ties with Japan to defend democracy. Hands of Africa, Pope blast foreign plundering of Congo. Former Brazilian President Bolsonaro applies for a 6-month US visitor visa. Brother versus brother, Kelsey's prepare for Super Bowl showdown. And 49ers Purdy has torn ligament in right elbow. Now news in detail. The fallout from Tyre Nichols' fatal beating continued Monday when the Memphis Police Department said a 7th police officer who responded was relieved of duty. In a statement, the agency didn't identify the 7th officer or say whether the person would face departmental or criminal charges. The department also confirmed that a 6th officer, Preston Hemphill, had been relieved of duty. Officer Preston Hemphill and other officers' actions and inactions have been and continue to be part of an investigation since its inception on January 8, the day after Nichols' traffic stop and the day all 7 officers were relieved of duty, the department said. The statement added that numerous impending charges are developing. It is unclear which officers may be charged. We expect the next phase of personal actions in the coming days, the department said in the statement. Hemphill's attorney, Lee Gerald, confirmed Monday his client was at the scene of the traffic stop and had activated his body camera. Video 1 is his body cam footage, Gerald said in a statement. He said the officer was never present at the scene where 5 officers who have been charged with second-degree murder and other crimes were seen beating Nichols. Hemfield's actions and involvement has been under investigation as he participated in the initial traffic stop and the use of a taser, the department said in its statement Monday. The parents of Tyre Nichols, the black man who was severely beaten by a group of Memphis, Tennessee police officers and died days later, will attend President Joe Biden's State of the Union address next week at the U.S. Capitol. Raw Vaughn and Rodney Wells, the mother and stepfather of Nichols, have accepted an invitation to attend the speech from Representative Stephen Horsford, who is chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, according to Vincent Evans, a spokesperson for the group of black lawmakers. Videotape released last week of the violent January 7 encounter between Nichols and the police officers shows the officers savagely beating the 29-year-old FedEx worker for 3 minutes while screaming profanities at him. Nichols was hospitalized and died on January 10. President Joe Biden informed Congress on Monday that he will end the twin national emergencies for addressing COVID-19 on May 11. As most of the world has returned closer to normalcy near 3 years after they were first declared, the move to end the national emergency and public health emergency declarations would formally restructure the federal coronavirus response to treat the virus as an endemic threat to public health that can be managed through agencies' normal authorities. It comes as lawmakers have already ended elements of the emergencies that kept millions of Americans insured during the pandemic. Combined with the drawdown of most federal COVID-19 relief money, it would also shift the development of vaccines and treatments away from the direct management of the federal government. Biden's announcement comes in a statement opposing resolutions being brought to the floor this week by House Republicans to bring the emergency to an immediate end. House Republicans are also gearing up to launch investigations on the federal government's response to COVID-19. President Joe Biden on Tuesday showcased a $292 million mega grant that will be used to help build a new rail tunnel beneath the Hudson River between New York and New Jersey, part of a broader effort to draw a contrast between his economic vision and that of Republicans. The money is part of $1.2 billion in mega grants being awarded under the 2021 infrastructure law. The Democratic president's trip to New York City on Tuesday came on the heels of his stop Monday in Baltimore to highlight the replacement of an aging rail tunnel there, where he pledged that government spending on infrastructure will boost economic growth and create blue-collar jobs. The New York stop also gave Biden a chance to highlight his administration jump-starting a project that languished during President Donald Trump's time in office. The years-long modernization of the Hudson Project started in 2013 but stalled as Trump battled with Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer over funding for the project. This is one of the biggest, the most consequential projects in the country, Biden said. But we finally have the money and we are going to get it done. I promise we are going to get it done, he said. Republican Representative George Santos of New York told GOP colleagues Tuesday he is temporarily stepping down from his 2 congressional committees, a move that comes amid a host of ethics issues and a day after he met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Santos has faced numerous calls for his resignation and is facing multiple investigations by prosecutors over his personal and campaign finances and lies about his resume and family background. Santos was assigned to two fairly low-profile panels, the House Committee on Small Business and to the House Science, Space and Technology Committee. Representative Tom Cole said the decision was well received from the GOP conference, saying, "I think it was the appropriate thing to do and I was proud of him for getting up and doing this." McCarthy met with Santos on Monday night but did not disclose their conversation. Republicans described the decision by Santos as voluntary. Representative Roger Williams, the chairman of the House Committee on Small Business, said he had not spoken with Santos about the decision and was surprised. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken wrapped up a two-day visit to Israel and the occupied West Bank Tuesday with little to show for his renewed appeals for Israeli-Palestinian calm amid an alarming spike of violence. Blinken met Tuesday with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank town of Ramallah, a day after seeing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Afterwards, he said the recent surge in violence was deeply concerning and that it is the responsibility of both sides to take steps to de-escalate the situation. But neither Abbas nor Netanyahu offered any public pledge on such steps. Blinken said he was leaving two senior aides behind to explore ideas on how to lower the tensions, but he declined to say what those are. Beyond urging a reduction in tension, Blinken offered no new U.S. initiative to do so, and there were few signs that Blinken was making progress on even the modest short-term goal of halting the latest wave of violence, much less of addressing the broader issues surrounding peace talks. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Tuesday said the United States will increase its deployment of advanced weapons such as fighter jets and bombers to the Korean Peninsula as it strengthens joint training and operational planning with South Korea in response to a growing North Korean nuclear threat. Austin made the comments in Seoul after he and South Korean Defense Minister Lee Jong-suk agreed to further expand their combined military exercises, including resumption of live fire demonstrations and continue a timely and coordinated deployment of U.S. strategic assets to the region, according to their officers. Austin and Lee also discussed preparations for a simulated exercise between the allies in February aimed at sharpening their response if North Korea uses nuclear weapons. Austin's trip comes as South Korea seeks stronger assurances that the United States will swiftly and decisively use its nuclear capabilities to protect its ally in the face of a North Korean nuclear attack. South Korea's security jitters have risen since North Korea test-fired dozens of missiles in 2022, including potentially nuclear-capable ones designed to strike targets in South Korea and the U.S. mainland. Winter weather brought ice to a wide swath of the United States on Tuesday, causing the cancellation of more than 1,500 flights nationwide, bringing traffic to a standstill on an interstate through Arkansas and knocking out power to thousands of Texans. Numerous auto collisions were reported in Austin, Texas, with at least one fatality, according to the Austin Fire Department. In Travis County, Texas, which includes Austin, police and sheriff's deputies have been responding to new crashes about every 3 minutes since 8 a.m., according to the Austin Travis County Traffic Report page. More than 700 flights to or from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport and more than 250 to or from Dallas Love Field were cancelled or delayed Tuesday, according to the tracking service FlightAware. At Dallas-Fort Worth, a major U.S. airport hub, more than 40% of the flights had been cancelled. Dallas-based Southwest Airlines has cancelled more than 500 flights and delayed more than 250 more, FlightAware reported. The U.S. Justice Department has requested documents from Tesla Incorporation related to its autopilot and full self-driving features According to a regulatory filing, to our knowledge, no government agency in any ongoing investigation has concluded that any wrongdoing occurred, Tesla said in the filing Tuesday with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The Austin, Texas-based electric vehicle maker cautioned that if the government decides to pursue an enforcement action, it could possibly have a material adverse impact on its business. A message was left Tuesday seeking comment from the Justice Department. Tesla is already facing multiple investigations by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration for problems with its two driver assist systems, autopilot and full self-driving. Despite their names, Tesla still says on its website that the cars can't drive themselves. Tesla's using full self-driving can navigate roads in many cases, but experts say the system can make mistakes, which even CEO Elon Musk acknowledges. Priscilla Presley has filed legal documents disputing who oversees the estate of her late daughter Lisa Marie Presley. The filing in Los Angeles Superior Court last week disputes the validity of a 2016 amendment of Lisa Marie Presley's living trust that removed Priscilla Presley and a former business manager as trustees and replaced them with Lisa Marie Presley's two oldest children, Riley Keough and Benjamin Keough, if she died or became incapacitated. Benjamin Keough died in 2020. A living trust is a form of estate planning that allows a person to control their assets while alive, but have them distributed if they die. It serves the function of a will if a separate will is not filed, as appears to be the case with Lisa Marie Presley. Lisa Marie Presley, a singer and the only child of Elvis Presley, died at a California hospital at age 54 on January 12 after paramedics answered a 911 call reporting a woman in cardiac arrest. The Los Angeles County coroner is investigating and has not yet given a cause of death. She was laid to rest at her family home, Graceland, on January 22. Actor Cindy Williams, best known for her role in the Laverne and Shirley TV sitcom, has died at 75. Her family said Monday. Williams died peacefully Wednesday at her home in Los Angeles after a short illness, her children said in a statement released by family spokesperson Lisa Cranis. The passing of our kind, hilarious mother, Cindy Williams, has brought us insurmountable sadness that could never truly be expressed, they said in the statement. Knowing and loving her has been our joy and privilege, the statement said. She was one of a kind, beautiful, generous, and possessed a brilliant sense of humor and a glittering spirit that everyone loved. Williams starred as Shirley Finney opposite Penny Marshall, who played Laverne DeFazio in the popular Laverne and Shirley series, which ran from 1976 to 1983. Michael Jackson's 26-year-old nephew, Jeffrey Jackson, will play the King of Pop in the planned biopic Michael, to be directed by Antoine Fuqua. Lionsgate announced Jackson's casting Monday for the film being produced by Oscar-winning Bohemian Rhapsody producer Graham King. Jackson is the second youngest son of Jermaine Jackson, Michael's brother. He has put out music of his own. In 2019, he released his debut single, Got Me Singing. Michael will be Jackson's acting debut. I met Jeffrey over 2 years ago and was blown away by the way he organically personifies the spirit and personality of Michael, said King in a statement. It was something so powerful that even after conducting a worldwide search, it was clear that he is the only person to take on this role. On Instagram, Fuqua shared a black and white photograph of Jackson in character. Fuqua added in a statement that Jackson has a natural ability to emulate Michael and such a great chemistry with the camera. On Twitter, Jackson said he is humbled and honored to bring my Uncle Michael's story to life. Michael will be an authorized portrait of the pop star who died in 2009. The film, scripted by Gladiator and The Aviator screenwriter John Logan, is being produced with the cooperation of the singer's estate. Now it's time for global updates. Ukraine owns support Tuesday from Baltic nations and Poland in its quest to obtain Western fighter jets. But there were no signs that larger nations like the US and Britain have changed their stance of refusing to provide the warplanes to Kiev after almost a year of battling Russia's invading forces. Ukraine needs fire jets, missiles, tanks. We need to act. Estonian Foreign Minister Urmas Reinsalu said in the Latvian capital of Riga at a news conference with his Baltic and Polish colleagues. Those countries which lie on NATO's eastern flank feel especially threatened by Russia and have been the leading advocates for providing military aid. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov held talks with his French counterpart, saying they did not discuss specific fighter jets but did talk about aviation platforms to help Ukraine's ground-to-air defense. French Defense Minister Sébastien, speaking alongside Reznikov, said there are no taboos on sending fighter jets. He also confirmed that France is sending 12 more Caesar cannons in the coming weeks. Several Western leaders have expressed concern that providing warplanes could escalate the nearly year-long conflict and draw them deeper into the war. Such fighter jets would offer Ukraine a major boost, but countering Russia's massive air force would still be a major challenge. The UK government, among Kiev's staunchest diplomatic supporters and military suppliers, said that sending its fighter jets is not practical. Asked Monday if his administration was considering sending Ukraine F-16 fighter jets, US President Joe Biden responded, "No." Kiev officials have repeatedly urged allies to send jets, saying they are essential to challenge Russia's air superiority and to ensure the success of future counteroffensives that could be spearheaded by the Western battle tanks. Pakistani authorities scrambled on Tuesday to determine how a suicide bomber was able to carry out one of the country's deadliest militant attacks in years, unleashing an explosion in a crowded mosque inside a highly secured police compound in the city of Peshawar. The death toll from the blast climbed to 100. Monday morning's bombing, which left at least 225 wounded, raised alarm among officials over a major security breach at a time when the Pakistani Taliban, the main anti-government militant group, has stepped up attacks, particularly targeting the police and the military. In a televised speech to Parliament Tuesday, Defense Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif accused the Pakistani Taliban, known by the acronym TTP, of carrying out the attack, saying they were operating from neighboring Afghan territory and demanding the Afghan Taliban take action against them. A TTP commander earlier claimed responsibility, but a spokesman for the group later distanced the TTP from the carnage, saying it was not its policy to attack mosques. More than 300 worshippers were praying in the Sunni mosque, with more approaching when the bomber set off his explosives vest, officials said. The blast blew off part of the roof and what was left caved in, injuring many more, according to Zafar Khan, a police officer. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg sharply criticized China on Tuesday for bullying its neighbors and threatening Taiwan and stressed the need for Japan and other democracies to work together with the alliance to defend the international order, calling it a critical moment for NATO and for Japan. Stoltenberg, who is visiting Tokyo, said China and Russia are leading an authoritarian pushback against international rules-based order. He said transatlantic and Indo-Pacific security are deeply interconnected, and victory by Russian President Vladimir Putin in Ukraine would send a message that authoritarian regimes can achieve their goals through brute force. This is dangerous, he said. China is watching closely and learning lessons that may influence its future decisions. Stoltenberg said at a joint news conference with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Stoltenberg's direct criticism of China contrasted with Kishida's more indirect expression of opposition to any one-sided changes by force to the status quo in the East and South China Seas. Pope Francis demanded Tuesday that foreign powers stop plundering Africa's natural resources for the poison of their own greed as he arrived in Congo to a raucous welcome by Congolese grateful. He was focusing the world's attention on their forgotten plight. Tens of thousands of people lined the main road into the capital, Kinshasa, to welcome Francis after he landed at the airport, some standing 3 or 4 deep, with children in school uniforms taking the front row. The Pope is 86 years old, but he came anyway. It is a sacrifice and the Congolese people will not forget it, said Sultan Tambwe, a bank agent in his 30s, as he waited for Francis' arrival in a scene reminiscent of some of Francis' earlier trips to similarly heavily Catholic countries. Francis plunged headfirst into his agenda upon arrival, denouncing the centuries-long exploitation of Africa by colonial powers, today's multinational extraction industries and the neighboring countries interfering in Congo's affairs that has led to a surge in fighting in the east. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has filed a request for a 6-month visitor visa to stay in the US, indicating he may have no immediate intention of returning home, where legal issues await. The application was first reported by the Financial Times, citing Bolsonaro's immigration lawyer, Felipe Alexandre. Bolsonaro left Brazil for Florida on December 30, 2 days before the inauguration of his leftist rival, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The ceremony proceeded without incident, but a week later, thousands of Bolsonaro's diehard supporters stormed the capital and trashed the top government buildings, demanding that Lula's election be overturned. Bolsonaro is being investigated for whether he had any role in inciting that uprising. It is just one of several probes targeting the former president, and that pose a legal headache upon his eventual homecoming, and which could strip him of his eligibility in future races or wars. Now it's time for business news. New York stock close price is 15,983.06. The NYSE composite is increased by 164.16 points or 1.04%. Tokyo stock close price is 27,327.11. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 106.29 points or 0.39%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,255.6692. The Shanghai Composite Index is decreased by 13.65 points or 0.42%. Hong Kong stock close price is 21,842.33. The Hang Seng Index is decreased by 227.40 points or 1.03%. Bombay stock close price is 59,549.90. The Sensex Index is increased by 59.49 points or 0.08%. Now a look of today's sports stories. Donna Kelce is going to have to pull out that now familiar custom jersey, the one with Kansas City Chiefs tied and Travis Kelce's front stitch to Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce's back one more time this season. At least this time, she will get to see her boys in person. For the first time in Super Bowl history, a pair of siblings will play each other on the NFL's grandest stage. Kelce helped the Chiefs return to their third championship game in 4 seasons on Sunday night when they beat the Bengals for the AFC title, while Jason has the Eagles back for the second time in 6 years after their NFC title win over the 49ers. San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy tore a ligament in his throwing elbow, putting his status for the start of next season in question. A person familiar with the injury confirmed the diagnosis of the injury Purdy sustained in the NFC title game. The person spoke on condition of anonymity because the team has not released details on the injury. NFL Network first reported that Purdy tore the ulnar collateral ligament in his right arm and said he will seek a second opinion on whether he needs a repair or a reconstruction. A repair of the elbow typically would lead to Purdy being sidelined for 6 months, which would mean he could return close to the start of training camp. A reconstruction would likely sideline Purdy into the 2023 season. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. That's all in today's news. Keep watching Millennium News 24 for latest updates. Millennium TV US and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.